Hey everybody, Eddie Soundhead here from Soundhead Entertainment, and today I have a very special video regarding the released information on NASCAR Heat Evolution. One quick note before we start getting into the details of NASCAR Heat Evolution. I do not have any kind of leaked or insider information. I do not have any connections with NASCAR Heat Evolution's developing process or the developers or publishers themselves. This is all information that I found on the internet and I'm compiling for you all to be informed in the easiest way possible. We want to stress that anybody who is credited for information has not been a part of the direct production of this video. And just so everybody understands, all the information inside of this video has been confirmed by the developers or by direct gameplay footage. So let's start by getting into all the things that we already know have been confirmed by the developers. We want to give credit to Reddit user CJO1992 on the DMR NASCAR Heat subreddit for compiling a list of confirmed information. The game will release September 13th, 2016 on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The game has been built completely from the ground up and does not feature any assets from the previous Utechnics developed games. The game will only feature the NASCAR Sprint Cup series and will not feature the NASCAR Xfinity or NASCAR Camping World Truck series. The game features all 26 tracks from the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup series schedule, including the newly reconfigured Kentucky Speedway and newly repaved Watkins Glen International. Online multiplayer will be server-based. There will be no local or split-screen multiplayer. The game will feature alcohol sponsors behind an age verification wall. The game does not feature a paint booth. The first trailer is expected to be released around the July 2nd race at Daytona. And finally, the game will be updated to include 2017 season paint schemes. This concludes the list compiled by CJO1992. So with all of that confirmed information, now we move on to a video that was released by IGN yesterday. We cannot play that video in its entirety, but if you want to watch the entire video, the link is in the description. Following clips of that video, however, are courtesy of IGN and are able to be used under the fair use policy. With that said, here are a few interesting clips and sound bites from that video.
Cool. So what can fans of NASCAR expect from Heat Evolution?
NASCAR Heat Evolution really goes back to the basics of the fun, compelling gameplay of the original Heat series. Our developers are Monster Games, based in Northfield, Minnesota.
Awesome.
They made the legendary title Dirt to Daytona. So it's about bringing that core fun gameplay back onto next-gen consoles.
Cool.
Yeah, so here's the main menu. There are several different modes to this game. Race is a quick race where you can drop right in and race really fast. Challenges is a fun feature where it's basically a consolidated race, so specific scenarios that you can race through.
Gotcha.
Championship, you can choose your own chase, so you can choose the field who you race against in the championship. Career mode's my favorite version of the game, where you start with an underfunded team and have to work your way up, gaining money and fans, and make your way to the
whole
top.
Season. Yeah.
Exactly, and multiplayer, obviously, race your friends online. So as you continue to race, you develop a speed rating at the track, and the field will actually adjust to you. So one of our biggest challenges is making the game fun for hardcore sim racers like myself who want the real challenge,
right,
but also allow a young, new audience to experience the sport, have fun, learn the drivers, the rules, the teams, and hopefully become a fan that watches on Sundays. So I think we did a really good job with that balance.
So you heard there that NASCAR Heat Evolution will have adaptive AI for each track. Now, not only did that footage show us gameplay, but it also showed us the main menu screen, including some of the game's features, as well as the loading screen for when you're loading into races. So now that we've seen that footage from IGN, there's another piece of footage that was released yesterday from an unknown source currently. I do not know who posted this video, but it was immediately removed from YouTube, and for that reason, I'm only going to show screenshots and audio for this next part of the video. Now, this footage includes almost 30 minutes of not only race gameplay, but also the menu screens. One thing I noticed while this person was in the menu screen was that this game does not have a fully licensed soundtrack. A lot of the soundtrack in this game is just generic rock or country music. Another thing that struck me as kind of off was the sound of the cars themselves. Take a listen to this from the footage.
Still there. Carlos. You're all clear. You're all clear. You're all clear.
Now you may recognize the sounds of those cars. They sound very similar to the cars of the early 2000s, especially the cars in the NASCAR video games of the early 2000s. So it makes you wonder if maybe they reused those sound clips. Now take a listen to the real life counterpart at the same exact track in 2014. So as you could hear, the real life counterpart did not sound anything like the in-game version that DMI has created. It sounds a lot like they're using the sounds from their early 2000s video games still, and that is just not accurate anymore. Here's a screenshot from another race that was included in that same footage. Now as you can see, this is a race at Bristol, and all of the AI are using the low groove. However, if you watch NASCAR nowadays, you know that the low groove is no longer the fastest line and everybody runs the high line. This is yet another inaccuracy in the AI. And I don't feel like this truly gives you the immersion of the AI using the fastest line around the racetrack, because everybody wants to use that high line now. The reason this worries me so much is because if you think back from NASCAR 15 to NASCAR 2012, all of the games in between there had terrible AI at restrictor plate tracks. They all ran like 3 wide, 4 wide all the time, and it was impossible to pass, and it was impossible to get a legitimate race out of those tracks. If they can't fix the racing at Bristol, that worries me about them being able to fix that happening at tracks such as Talladega or Daytona. Now I know that they can't really truly fix them because they built a brand new game from the ground up, but I hope they don't fall into the same trap and find the same exact problems that Technics did with their restrictor plate tracks. So they say that the trailer will drop around the Daytona race here in about 3 days. So when that does come out, we will analyze it and upload a video and update any information that we may have to keep you guys current and in the know. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I've helped inform you in some way. If you want to stay up to date as much as possible, here are a bunch of links to DMI and NASCAR Heat Evolution's social media links. You'll see some cool stuff, I'm sure. September is just around the corner. I know that hurts us for all those people who have to go back to school in September, but I cannot wait for this new game to come out. Hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am. I cannot wait to play it and make videos for all of you on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and everybody enjoy a nice, safe race weekend. We'll see you in the next video.